today I want to talk to you guys about 5 of the best characters in Smash Ultimate that I think are also really good to pick up as a main. Now I know the game's been out for a while now, but I also know a lot of people asking me, hey Joe, who should I pick up to play as a main if I want to get better, if I want to learn the fundamentals of the game more, or if I just want to have a little bit more success because the main I'm currently playing isn't really doing that well for me? Well, today I'm going to be trying to help you guys with that as much as possible by giving you some of my personal best characters and why you should be playing them. Now with this in mind, I won't be covering just in general the 5 best characters because I feel like some of those characters are really hard to get into. Some examples could be someone like Peach, Olimar, Snake, Shulk, and even Chrom or Pikachu to an extent because I feel like there are easier characters to pick that are very similar to them. With that in mind though guys, let's get started on the 5 characters that you should main that are really good in Smash Ultimate. The first character I wanted to cover here is going to be Inkling, and that's because Inkling's a character that has a lot of people playing him right now, or her right now, and as well a character that seems to be one of the best in the entire game. There's just so much going for Inkling right now. Has really good damage, has really good potential, really good combos, a really good recovery, just kind of great at everything. But I feel like one thing that's kind of making me hold back a little bit from saying that you should be playing this character is the fact that there aren't really that many great results as this character. There's a ton of people picking them up, but not really way too much stuff being shown for that. With that in mind though, I think Inkling is a really great pick as one of your characters because, again, just kind of good at everything. Now, as well I should mention right here, if you're picking up Inkling, you will have to learn the fundamentals really well. You'll have to learn how to dash dance really well, you'll have to learn how to punish really well, and one thing you're going to have to learn how to do much better than most characters is edge guarding. Now this is because if your opponent knows how to block roller or dodge roller, it can be really hard to kill with Inkling other than hitting your opponent off the stage, throwing a splat bomb, and edge guarding them again and again and again. Now, that's a thing that I think can kind of make this character a little bit awkward to get into. You don't really have a free win neutral move or a free kill move. And of course, while roller can be really great versus a lot of players, if your opponent knows how to play versus it, or if they just play a lot on platforms, well, then that won't really be helping you way too much. Overall, again, a character that I think is really great, but does have some of those few weaknesses that might make them a little bit awkward to get into. Now, as well, I should say right here, pretty much everybody has played versus Inkling so far. There are a ton of Inklings all over the place. So you can take that as a good or a bad thing. The good thing with that is that, of course, there's a lot of people to learn from. There is so many examples of great Inkling players that you can take, just general information from, use that in your own games, and then get better. But as well, a lot of people know how to play versus Inkling, so a lot of your games might be a little bit harder because pretty much everyone's going to know the matchup, even more than a lot of the other characters on this list. So with all that in mind, I feel like Inkling is a great character and could potentially actually move to the #1 best character, both in tier and in, the character you should be probably playing. But for right now, I'm going to put him right here because I feel like there is really some untapped potential that we're going to have to kind of wait and see. Now, the next character I wanted to mention is going to be Pichu, and this is the reason why I didn't have Pikachu on the list, and it's because I feel like Pichu is essentially just a easier version of Pikachu. With Pikachu, oftentimes you're going to have to learn how to master every single one of your combos, make sure you're getting them down all the time, your spacing is going to have to be really good as you have that extra range, but less damage and less knockback, and Pikachu in general feels a little bit less safe than Pichu. And while Pichu does of course have the negative where you do die really early, a lot of the times in Smash Ultimate, you're probably going to be dying early anyways if you're making those mistakes. And as Pichu, I feel like sure, you're going to be punished more for that, but it's not really as bad as I think a lot of people are saying. As well, when you look at Pikachu though, he doesn't really have as much kill potential, and that's something I think is really useful for somebody getting into the game, and overall makes Pichu a lot better of a character for someone that's not an especially pro-level player. Because as Pikachu, you're going to have to be learning essentially every single one of your combos into a kill, and that can take a lot of time, and in a lot of cases not really work that well. While as Pichu, when you got back air, you got forward air in some situations, you got forward tilt, you got forward smash, you got down smash, you got down B, you have up air down B, you have up throw down B, you got so many things as this character. And I feel like overall, while Pichu could potentially be a really hard character to play, I think for the majority of players, he really isn't all that bad. And he's overall a pretty easy playstyle as well. It's just essentially running at your opponent, use your really close range attacks, be really safe, put on pressure, rinse and repeat. As well, if you need to, you can camp a little bit as this character, and his combos are really easy. Essentially just down throw into imagination, down tilt into up tilt into imagination, or up air into imagination. Overall, of course, a great character, not way too hard to pick up, and a lot of people are saying probably one of the best characters in this game with great edge guarding, a great recovery, kind of just great everything. And if he had more range and a better just overall lifespan, I guess, he'd probably be a little bit better. But yeah, I'd say if you want to pick up an aggressive character, he's probably one of the best. Now, onto another aggressive character that I personally believe is a little bit better than Pichu, or at least has shown a lot more results than Pichu. We're going to be talking about Fox. And honestly, Fox has been a character that's just been good in every single Smash game, and just the fundamentals of his kit work well in every Smash game. He's pretty basic overall. He's a character that just wants to get in there, apply a lot of pressure, get in on your shield, space, or at least microspace really well, and essentially just force your opponent into really bad situations where they have to pick one bad option or another one, and then you punish them, and then you kill them. Now, with that in mind, I feel like Fox might be a little bit more awkward to play than Pichu, because Pichu is, relatively simple a lot of the time, just focusing on stuff like forward airs, down tilts, and just approaching with your Thunder Jolt, while Fox, you do have to be a little bit more creative, but at the same time, Pichu has a lot of moves he has to worry about using, while Fox does have a lot of good moves, but for the most part, you're going to be using mainly Nair, Dash Attack, Up Smash, and Tomahawk grabs. And yes, there are some other things you're going to have to learn how to do as Fox, but if you just get really good at those 4 things, you can honestly find a lot of success and then add more stuff on later when you really have to do that. Now, as well, a thing that I love about Fox that Pichu does pretty well, but I think Fox is a bit better, is beating campers. And as well, doing all right versus sword characters. Now, when you're playing Ultimate, there's going to be a lot of sword characters, and as a slow character, that can be really frustrating to play against. But Fox isn't a slow character. He's an extremely fast character that can start off combos, that can get into their range, that can start beating them up. And while he doesn't have like the best matchups against them in the game, it's pretty good. And really, you won't be struggling against just about anybody as Fox in Smash Ultimate. He's overall a great character, tried and true, has a lot of results from a lot of players, and probably one of my favorites to pick up. Moving on to Palutena, I feel like she's one of those characters that just so many people are picking up right now, and it's because her kit is so simple. She's a character that, I guess kind of like Fox, has a lot of potentially pretty good moves, but has specifically some really, really great broken moves. Her backer is great, her dash attack is great, her grab into combos are great, and her neutral air. Those are all just amazing options that you can throw out over and over and over again and get a lot of results with. Now, of course, later on, you want to add stuff like up air, forward air for poking. You want to add stuff like your side B and neutral B for extra damage. And of course, you can add your reflector to beat certain matchups, but she's a really basic type character, and I think we're seeing that just by the amount of Palutena mains out there. If you look at the top players, the vast majority of them seem to at least be playing Palutena a little bit, or, specifically maining this character. Now, with that in mind, I feel like there aren't that many Palutena mains. I feel like there's a lot of people that pick up Palutena, a lot of people that are doing pretty well with Palutena, but not that many people maining Palutena. And I feel like this could actually be good for you as a player because it'll give you a lot of different examples of how to play your character, while at the same time you know that you're not really playing a character that everybody's maining every single game, if you're kind of a person that doesn't really like to do that way too much. Well, of course, she is pretty dang simple. Now, added to this, I need to mention that Palutena just straight up destroys certain matchups. Characters like Rob I know have a really hard time against Palutena, even so like Greninja can sometimes have a really hard time. And overall, just with her combos, the way they work, the way her poking works, the way her spacing works, a lot of characters just struggle a lot versus this character. While Palutena doesn't really have any specific super awful matchups at this point, making her a great character to pick up, a great character to play. And while I think that there are quite a few better characters than Palutena, I think she's just one of those solid picks that if you pick up and play and get good at, you're always going to have results with, and you aren't going to be way too flaky on doing great or doing bad, because she just has a very solid game plan that works almost every single game. The final character, and I feel like the best character to pick up and play if you want to get into Ultimate, if you want to have a good feeling of the game, and if you want to have a good amount of results, while not having way too many people that actually can beat your character, I'm going to put Lucena right here. And we have seen so many people pick up Lucena. I feel like Lucena is the character that if you have a main and you want a secondary, you go with Lucena. While at the same time, if you just want to play a good sword character that's consistent, that does a lot of damage, that has great combos, that can also space really well, that can edgeguard well, that can recover well, that can do everything well, well, Lucena's got you covered. She's overall just the good sword character. And while I feel like Chrom has more, really high highs, he also has a lot of really low lows, while Lucena doesn't really have that. Sure, she can sometimes struggle against people that can rush her down really well, but as well, against a lot of the rush down, she can actually do all right, because just the minimal amount of landing lag she has in this game, she can space out a lot of the fastest characters in the game, which is kind of insane. Her frame data is just stupidly good in this game, and that makes her a really strong character. Now add this to the fact that she has a pretty basic playstyle. There's not really anything super specific you have to learn as Lucena. It's just kind of learn how to space, learn how to play a very good neutral, learn how to make so people can't get in, and also learn when to go in yourself, when to go in to try to get combos, when to go in to try to get juggles, when to go off stage and edgeguard. She can kind of teach you everything about Smash Ultimate, I guess except, pure aggression. And that's a really good thing about a character. I think she's the best character to learn first, doesn't really have any super bad major flaws, isn't really doing that awful in just about any matchups, and if you can play her well, I think you're going to be finding results for a long time, as sure they can nerf this character, but I feel like if they do, she's going to just relatively stay the same because she has such a basic kit. She doesn't have really one super broken part about her, it's just everything together works really well in this game, and that's why I feel like she's probably going to be the best character. As well, a lot of people are putting her at the highest character in their tier list because she just is amazing, has so many kill confirms, so many ways to just safely get out damage. She has a lot of stuff, so if you want to pick up a character, you don't know who to pick at all, I'd say Lucena is a great pick, and if you want to switch off her to somebody else later, that's a good idea, or just keep playing her as she is. Probably one of the best characters in Ultimate, and definitely one of the best characters to pick up if you are looking for a main. With all that said though guys, thank you all for watching, hope you guys enjoyed. I know that this video is kind of specific, but I felt like just talking about my 5 best characters in Ultimate wouldn't be that important because I know there's a lot of people that already are making tier lists. You could just look up like the Buzzes or MK Leos or whatever, sorry about that, and really just find just a ton of different opinions. But today I want to talk about characters that I feel like you can actually pick up and have a good amount of results with them. But as well as always, you know, play whoever you want, enjoy whoever you want. These are just some of my picks if you're looking for a new character to learn, as yeah, they're all great. With that all said, the guys, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below what you would like me to talk about in the next video. Holy. And as always guys, subscribe to see more videos like this in the future, or look at the top right of the screen for more Smash Ultimate videos. As always the guys, thank you all for watching and have a smashing day. Woo!